Hi everyone, it's Gina again. From our previous class, we talked about user research, and then we showed some ways in which user research can be conducted. And one of the ways we discussed about interviews, surveys, and usability study. So in this class, I'm going to be teaching you how to actually conduct survey or probably build a survey form. So um So from this class, I'm going to teach how you can build a survey form. So the first thing that you're going to do is that you go to one of the tools that can be used to build a survey form. And one of the tools that can be used is Google Forms. So let's go to Google Forms. So you can just go to sign in. Google Forms sign in. So although I've already signed in, I've already added this account before. But if you have to sign in, if you are to sign, you just need to attach your Google account. So it is not that much of a big deal. So I have already previewed. So it's this type. So is this survey? This actually I think I remember showing you this survey. So is this survey that we're going to be replicating. So um if we are to start, you are going to start with using a blank form. So although you can actually use any of these templates, you can probably use this template, but I'm going to teach you to start using something blank. So and before we start, if you remember how I actually differentiated between interview and survey. Interview is a series of different questions asked to different users, while on the other hand, a survey is when you ask a user the same when you ask different users the same questions, not different questions. So when you ask them the same questions, it will help you know how they actually feel about each thing. So and you can actually use the process in which I don't know if you've heard of majority carry the vote. So as I showed you like the bar charts of that previous of the responses of this form right here. I remember that I showed you the bar chart, the way it was actually put in a pie chart and so on. So you can actually use that to build your product better in what the customers, in what your users want. So for us to replicate this, these two sections have been given for us there. So let me just let me type mega safe. So for the form description, I can just copy this. So I copied it with Control C. I copied it with Control C. Remember, to copy is Control C. Or if you want to copy, see, you can see it here. You want to copy Control C. And then if you now want to paste, you can see here. Oh, I won't put it here yet. So you just use Control V. So MegaSafe is a robust digital platform designed to foster trust between buyers and sellers through a secure escrow wallet and peer-to-peer P2P payment system. So now, although this part will actually be there already. So the first thing that we saw there was email address. So we are going to email paste. still in caps lock, email address. So it can actually, it has already detected. If you notice, it was using option one, option, like a radio part, like a selection part where you just need to select it, or it's automatically detected that you are using, that you want to ask questions of email address, and then put a short answer there. And then this email address is sometimes very required. So if you want to make it to be required, you can do this. You can switch the toggle button to the other side, and it's going to be a required question. And then if you want to add another thing, just press, you will just go to this plus button right here, and you've added another question. So I think the next one was their name, although sometimes their name is not really important. Sometimes their name is not really important, but if you might just want it to be like a friendly survey, stuff like that, it's okay to add name. Okay. So name, so it's just a short answer. I think, oh, this one too, you will fix it in short answer part. See, this one is for paragraph. For a long answer text, multiple choice, check boxes, drop down, want to upload the file, and so on. So let's just, so we are just going with short answer, since email address is just to type an email address. So it's a short answer text. And then if you also want to make it required, just like this, if you notice, see, indicate a required dot question. So their name, so you want to make it to be required. So then you add another question. What was next? What is your age? What is your age range? What's wrong with this keyboard? So from here now, you can either be using a checkbox, or we can either be using a checkbox or multiple choices. So I think in other part they do call this multiple choice radio instead of multiple choice. So let's see how many ranges were age ranges for. So let's use one. Okay. Then add another option. So I on I on I undo everything. So if you want to add other options, you can just tap on this part that is here. This part that is here. Then added oh, added another one. Then added another one. So 15 to 18, 19 to 30. Let's want to 35. It was actually supposed to be probably, oh no, this was a mistake right here. This was a huge mistake right here. So I'm just going to correct it. Let me use 31 to 40, say 41 to 60, and then let me add another one, 61 plus. So if you have to preview this, let me see how this works. Let's preview this. So you can see. So in this one you can only pick one. But if we were to change it to a if we were to change it to check boxes such as this, we were to change it, make it to check boxes just as this. That is when you actually pick varieties, which shouldn't be, since they should only be able to pick one, of course. And just simply change it as this, check boxes. So if I have to preview this, unlike this one, you see the difference now. Unlike this one, you can pick everything, but this you can only pick one. So you see the difference like that. So let's move to the next. So this one, so I think it might actually be required as well. So let's see, gender, male or female. It's already multiple choice, of course. And male and female. So this Google form is very easy to operate. Without anyone teaching you, you can even work on it by yourself. So it's very easy. I even learned it. I also learned it myself. So where are you located? E.g., Lagos, Nigeria. Then you can fix it to short answer. Then it might be required or not. So now these are the main, even if all of this might not be required, such as the name, gender. Okay, the gender might be required, but the gender can also affect the factor of the product. The age range might be required, but the name might not really be required, because the name does not really have anything to do with the products you're actually making, you're actually building. So these are the main required things now that we are going to be working on these questions. So what is your primary goal when using the digital payment or escrow platform? Sending money, using goods. set it as multiple choice and then required. So let's add another one. So for something like this, you can see that this one is actually different from the rest. So you can just use something that they call linear scale. So 1.5. And then the label on one, very important, not important. So it's supposed to be from non-important to very important. Very not important, very important. So now, if see, you can see how it is now, just like this. But this was actually supposed to be here, like it kind of switched places. So let me look for any other thing that any other type of question that we haven't worked with. I think we've actually worked with some things, like we've actually worked with each type of form section stuff. So if you are to go, let's still work with this checkbox, and then you can then do the rest yourself. So checkboxes, transparency of the process, real time update, easy to understand terms, estimated form release, check form release, oh font, sorry. So now we are now to preview this, then you can see the functionality with this. You can see see. And also you might not really like a font like this. You might not really like a font like this, or maybe if you want to change, let's say you want to change this, you notice that while I was talking I made this bold, so you can easily use Ctrl B or tap here, or if you want to use this place italic, you can easily use Ctrl I or tap here, or if you want to use this underline, you can easily use Ctrl U or tap here, easy peasy. But if you want to add link, which might not be necessary. So then if you now want to customize everything, probably the color of the font, the color of the whole page, the color or the font itself. Let's say now I kind of like round show. Let me see if round show is here. Let me see round show. Yeah. So look at this. So you can see now round show. this one now is actually a header. This one is for questions as this. So if I were to edit the text of the questions now, but let's say we don't really like the size of this. We want to make it bigger. I think this is not even supposed to be the highest, but probably let's leave it that way. So if you want to edit this question, the font of this question, let's say we want to use Lapo. You see the change in font for robot or Montserrat or let's say Poppins. You can see the change. Or maybe if you want to change the text such as this, and see let's say Poppins. You can see the difference now. So that is just how the form works. So then you can actually work and play around with the way form is. But although about this UI then we haven't even reached the most fun part of it yet. We haven't reached the most fun part of it. People that if you actually love designing things, you will see. So we will design lots of amazing user and amazing interfaces. And so we've actually learned how we can actually build a form from scratch. So thanks for watching. See you in the next class.